Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel, Cook with Joy. For today's recipe video, I wanted to share a super simple and healthy snack option, or honestly, we eat these for dessert, so these would be even a great healthy dessert option. And today I'm going to be sharing with you protein balls. I actually got this recipe from my friend Jamie. She has a very awesome YouTube channel called Jamie's Journey. She shared this quite a while ago. It might have been over a year ago that she shared this on her channel, but I did want to give her credit for this recipe because that is where I got this recipe from. But let me show you what goes into these and then we'll go ahead and get these made up. Okay, for this recipe, you will need 2 cups of oat flour, and I use gluten-free oats just because we eat primarily gluten-free in our household, and I just use a food processor to grind up the oats to kind of make it into a flour consistency. You will need 1/3 a cup of your choice of protein powder. I am using the Earth Chimp brand protein powder, and I'm using the chocolate flavor. You will also need 1/2 cup of any sort of nut butter of your choice. I am choosing to use peanut butter. You will also need 4 tablespoons of maple syrup, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of any sort of milk. I'm choosing oat milk. And actually the recipe says to start with 1/4 of a cup because you don't want these to get too wet. You want to make sure that they can form into balls and are more like dough consistency. It's optional to put in some mini chocolate chips, but I always do that. You can do 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup of those. Okay, to begin with, I just lined this pan with parchment paper, and I was at the very end of my parchment paper, so I couldn't fully line it, but that's okay. This should work. So like I mentioned, this recipe is super simple. All you do is take the 2 dry ingredients and mix those up, and then add the wet ingredients to form it into a dough ball. And then of course you can fold in your mini chocolate chips if you choose to add those. And I will mention that this is a really versatile recipe. You could do different types of or different flavors of chips, or you could even do maybe some other nuts or seeds. You could add some dried fruit to this recipe. You could use vanilla protein powder instead of chocolate. So it's a very versatile recipe and how you want to make these, so you can tailor them to your needs or your family's needs. But let's go ahead and mix these up. Before we go any further, can we just take a moment? Yes, it is winter. Yes, I am wearing a tank top. And that's because I live in Austin and it has been in the 70s all week this week. That is the beautiful thing about living in the South, is the winters are gorgeous. I will definitely not be bragging this summer when it's in the hundreds. But anyway, I did forget to mention that this is a no-bake recipe, so that is pretty much it. You just roll them into balls. You will want to put them in the refrigerator. I think they taste better cold, and that's where you'll want to store them, in an airtight container. I will just throw them in there on this baking sheet just to let them kind of get chilled. But I'm just gonna go ahead and try one right now. Even though they're not chilled, they're going to be very soft, but I'm sure they'll still be good, but I did want to do a taste test for you. So let's go ahead. It's very good. These are certainly not super sweet, which is why they could even be good for a snack. I personally like my desserts to be this way, where it kind of satisfies that sweet tooth, but it's not overly sweet. So I really love this. And since it has the protein powder in it, it gives you that extra bit of protein even in your dessert. Okay, you lovely people, that is all I have for today's recipe. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make these protein balls. As always, I will have the full recipe and ingredients down in the description box below, but I do appreciate you watching this video all the way until the end, and I will see you next time. Bye.